So today's HVAC Emporium was very interesting. Um, some people were there live, some people were virtual. Um, I was one of the virtual ones, sitting right where I am right now. Great info. Jim Bergman, vacuum. I'm gonna purchase that, share it as much as I can because it's important. When we use bigger hose, better things happen. We reduce time, unnecessary time. And thanks for highlighting my question at the end. Cormax, I'm gonna go get that taken care of so I can use. And I'm probably gonna get the, cause I have the Apion right now, but I'll get the True Blue. Sucks that I can't get it from the person I work for, but I was in Nate's class to begin with, but I went to Spoon's because Nate was a little late. I don't know if that was them getting things set up in the tent, but yeah, very informative. Mr. Spoon, I'm going to check out a few of those monitors. I'm gonna vote for you to go to space. But yeah, that's from there. I went to Nate to see if he was done, and yeah, he was. But crossed over into the virtual compressor teardown with Trevor and his buddy. I don't remember the name, Desante. But very informative, very informative. That style of class was a little challenging. People kept talking, but once it came down to, hey, listen, I need to chill out, hit the mute button. Apparently, they have not been through proper Teams etiquette or video conferencing etiquette. You come into the party on mute and video on or blurred on the background. Yeah, got to see what happens when scroll tries to compress liquid, damage, slugging, bearing wear. I've seen this stuff before. I've been through a Copeland class, but it's always good to get a refresher because, honestly, I ain't touched the stuff in almost 16 years. Yeah. But I'm sorry, footage. From there, where did I go? Don Gillis, head trainer for Emerson. That was an amazing little 2-hour segment. Crammed as much info as possible, highlighting what I know. AE bulletins are a Bible when it comes to knowing what you're working on and understanding it. Emerson has made a Bible, and it's your AE bulletin. Everything from oil control to how to properly set superheat on TXVs, so that you ensure you have no compressor flood black. And they tell you, hey, I believe it's 18 degrees at the superheat, at the compressor, a superheat. There you go. It's straight from the mouth of the manufacturer of the compressor, which is nice. But he went into a deep dive on modulating systems, digis, variable speeds, sleds. I will always remember 3,500 RPMs. at 2-pole motor. But yeah, a lot of great info. Digital, I'd really like to see one of my customers do a digital conversion. I guess I have to get my manager to push it. That would be freaking awesome to be able to do that, but I haven't been given the opportunity, so I guess if I can be in the sales role at the current company, but yeah, the bleed port and seeing all that, it was a little difficult at first getting the visual guy to go in and out as where he he could. I had to kind of see what he was talking about, and me knowing parts of a scroll, I'm like, all right, no, that's what. Yeah, you had to discern what he was pointing at on the thing to the slide that they had up. Emerson did a really good job. At one point, homeboy was following following the moderator, the presenter. He was following Mr. Gillis, and that doesn't need to happen really. Just get a good shot. If we could zoom in, and that's what I was doing. I had the chat on one side of my screen, and it zoomed in as big as I could with the slideshow, and everybody had a slideshow. Bill Spoon had a slideshow. They shared his screen. Trevor, they had good stuff on their slideshows, and they went live on their iPhone and deep dive into the compressor. That was freaking awesome. So I'd like to see a lot more, but I want to see virtual be integrated. This is where you get into, you're sitting there. Guys like me who have a VR set can hang out, see what you're seeing. I don't know. That's something to explore. With the world of technology, I know they make a camera and you sit there and record it, but for real, being able to I need to be in a think tank. And then from there I kind of bounced around, went to Chris, and he had some technical difficulties. I apologize. I had a couple beers and it was enjoyable. Steak for lunch, and then I continued. I got my laptop, my phone. I did stuff for work when I shouldn't have, but he had issues, so I didn't watch the video he prepared. I was like, fuck that. Oops. But went to Mini Splits. I can't remember the gentleman's name because he does the YouTube channel, website, all that good stuff that Brian collabs with here recently. Talking about mini splits, I noticed just the single zone. He talked about the refrigeration cycle, some of the things that can happen. To those that have taken mini split classes, not sure if that's 100% informative. So it was kind of like an introduction into that mini split, which was, it's nice always to get a refresher. But testing the diode, looking for the proper resistance between set points on the control board, and they did highlight, hey, yeah, the PCB board, that is one of the most common failures, as well as the outdoor motor. Always want to keep a clean filter, clean condensate line. It was good info, but yeah, per manufacturer specs is the answer to a lot of the questions that were asked. read the manual, understand the remote, understand how the systems function. I'm a big proponent of being educated on a product before you install it. You know, Mitsubishi, when I think it's Mitsubishi, but you have to go take a class before you can purchase anything from them. So that was, well, in that line. Um, so that's kind of nice. I haven't personally. They wouldn't sell me shit. I want to work on it. Work on the just basic stuff. You know, call their tech support. Have them walk me through some things, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's loss of charge. And he was right. Dead spot to frick on. Never assume that a low suction pressure, like a 90, 96, 95, you know, 30-degree saturation is indication of low charge. If you've got a superheat that's maintaining, subcooling that's being done, maintaining, you know, it's doing its job, but if those superheats are crazy, you know, that something's wrong. That was a good class. I thought I would. Then hold on, went somebody else. Yeah, I saw somebody else. There was a duct construction, talking about the effects of humidity. I do not live in a humid climate, Colorado, high altitude, so we have to deal with density of the air, more CFM per ton for cooling. Probably do it. We run a lot lower saturation temperatures. That was quite interesting. Learned a few things that he's been doing. Apparently this gentleman is very well known in the Florida ACCA, so I'm going to go back and watch what I missed. And he's doing a duct construction class, and that's going to be very informative because I'm always about airflow. ABCs, baby. I preach it. I preach it to the people I work with. Airflow. How's your airflow look? Filters, belts, economizer open. Any dampers, VAVs shut, bypasses. What's going on? Static pressure, blood pressure. That's kids. That's what I've been taught, and that's what I go off of. Sometimes I get out of my element. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like every other technician, is you skip a step. We're human, you know, you get caught up. Like my wife just sent me a text message. So yeah. Then I clicked on the end of day, and nobody was on there. I was like, dang, it's not gonna be taped. That would have been kind of cool seeing that, but I guess that was reserved for those people that paid the $200 some odd, which I don't mind. I've been communicating with people via the chat feature on the Emerson's platform, virtual. It's nice. You got moderators. They ask questions. They they ask questions for us, but you definitely gotta be precise with some of them, and we've answered some of the questions in chat, if we know, but they'll still ask them because they're legitimate, really good questions, and not everybody knows that. So the chat feature is nice. We've had some people interact, you know. I'm a big interactor. I can do two things at once. Understand what this gym is telling us about making sure that It's a decay test, and we got that curve, and we don't have a major increase spike. You know, I guess I'm old school with the lap, watching my seconds increase to minutes. My decay test can last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'm making sure that I'm going down in my decay. So I'm gonna have to upgrade some tools. There's no ifs, ands, or buts going to this. I really wish I was there for the demos because it's something I'm interested in. So somebody needs to record that stuff. Straight up, record it. That's my take from HVACR Symposium Training Day 1, and this is Symposium 2. We're doing a really good job on the virtual side. There's been a little bit of, like I believe I said, maybe a hiccup or so with audio, but crazy awesome info as well as crazy awesome people. You get to see some of the back of the heads. I'm like, I recognize that person just from your profile pics. I'm one of the 27,000 people, probably more or less, of people on HVAC school over time. I tend to stay to just a couple. So, yeah.